Now we're ready to move forward with an overview of the 2016 activities of the Manitoba Geological Survey, presented by Christian Böhm. Christian has a background in structural geology with a PhD in geochronology and isotope geology from ETH Zurich in Switzerland, and postdoctoral research and teaching at the University of Alberta. Christian's expertise has proven a valuable asset to the Geological Survey since 2009, where he served as acting director since 2013. Please join me in welcoming Christian Böhm.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks for everyone to be back here. It's my pleasure to present you the annual overview of the Manitoba Geological Survey's programs and activities. And before I dive into some of the projects and give you specifics about what we've been busy with over the year, I'd like to take a couple minutes of explaining how we go about selecting our projects on an annual basis, what criteria we're using. As we all know, Manitoba has a very diverse geology, and with this diverse geology comes a diverse mineral endowment, and more often than not, we'd like to be in more places than we can, like to do more things than we can with the capacity that we currently have. This is the number of people and the funding we have in place. So it's particularly important that we strike a balance every year in trying to be at the right places, at the right time, doing the right thing, and that people are aware of what we're doing so that we can work together and get more out of it together. So the main criteria we use annually to select our projects are, first and foremost, the anticipated economic benefit. We don't want to do anything that doesn't have an immediate, a midterm, and a long-term benefit. Secondly, industry and community requests. We're always very open and supportive of what others would like us to see, and we want to continue to hear from you where you think we should be. And thirdly, collaborative opportunities. No one these days can afford to only work independently, and that goes also for the government and for the Geological Survey. So we always embrace where we believe in, and we support collaborative opportunities. And so these are main criteria that factor into the selection of our projects and study areas, which we can also categorize as follows, and this is particularly from a mineral exploration point of view. We can break those down into brownfield projects, greenfield projects, and frontier projects, and I'll be providing you with examples for all of those. Brownfield projects, we're talking about the established mineral belts where we provide geoscience support for ongoing existing exploration and mining activity. With greenfield projects, we want to expand this activity into adjacent areas that have high mineral potential that we know about. So these are the adjacent high potential regions. With our geoscience that we provide in those regions, we want to support active companies by identifying new opportunities on adjacent ground where they're currently working, and also, very importantly, attract new entrants to Manitoba's exploration sector. And thirdly, the frontier projects want to identify outlying regions with significant mineral potential. By doing so, open new mineral belts by providing foundational geoscience information to stimulate the exploration investment in those underexplored regions. So in 2016, what have we done where? We've undertaken a number of non-partnered independent projects, as you can see, across much of Manitoba. We've continued collaborations with the federal government and other Geological Survey under their two main programs, and that's the Geo Mapping for Energy and Minerals program that is currently in its second phase and is focusing on the onshore portion of the Hudson Bay Basin in Manitoba. And under the Federal Targeted Geoscience Initiative, that's in its fifth phase, we've collaborated with the GSE in the Lynn Lake Belt. We've collaborated with industry and university partners, both on Precambrian and Phanerozoic projects, and with academia on a number of projects as well. Compilation maps are an essential part of our work. Most recently, we've been focusing on a new compilation map at the 1 to 50,000 scale for the entire Lynn Lake Belt, a new digital seamless 250,000 compilation for the entire province, a new geological highway map of Manitoba, and one of our contribution to the new Metal Earth, Canada's first research excellence fund that's run out of Laurentian University, is a new compilation of the Superior Craton geology in Manitoba. As well, we've been advancing our 3D geological model of all of south of 54 degrees in Manitoba. The next few slides, I'll show some projects, examples for brownfield. Eric Yang has been working in the Lynn Lake Belt for the last couple summers. This is an excellent example where we work alongside and together with a company, Alamos Gold foremost. Eric Yang last summer worked in the Farley Lake area, and basically he's advanced structural and stratigraphic setting for the gold deposit there, and this is supporting directly what the company is most interested in the area. Also, we've been able to attract the Geological Survey of Canada into the Lynn Lake Belt under TGI 5, as I just mentioned, and Chris Lawley, who's going to talk about this in tomorrow's session on the Lynn Lake Belt, will give us detail on how the federal government contributes to this collaborative effort. Simon Gagné continued working in the Snow Lake area of the Flin Flon Snow Lake Belt, another example of a brownfield project. This is in support of a VMS exploration and mineral development in the region. And talking about VMS, we know it's all about stratigraphy, and Simon significantly advanced the model for the internal stratigraphy of the mineralized volcanic rocks. He identified highly prospective arc volcanic rocks in eastern Reed Lake, which is a new finding. He's done that by doing basic geological mapping, relogging of core, and geological compilation work. A different type of brownfield projects undertaken by Catherine Lapensky, one of our newer geologists on the sedimentary geoscience side. This is in support of a gypsum development. So this is in the Lake Manitoba area. And very nicely, Catherine has demonstrated by using detailed structure, contour, and isopac maps of gypsum in the Harcus area that the thickness of the gypsum is highly variable due to karsting and erosion. This is very helpful to industry, we believe. An example of greenfield project, Scott Anderson's been working in the Oxford Lake-Knee Lake area of the Northern Superior Province last summer at Knee Lake. And the Knee Lake, Oxford Lake area hosts the largest contiguous greenstone belt in Northwest Superior Province and has potential for a wide variety of mineral deposits. I think this is some very, very exciting work that's been going on. Last summer, there's been a number of key findings. For example, Scott demonstrated some similarities of the Knee Lake area with the gold deposits in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. He's shown evidence of carbonatite magmatism, which has great implications for rare metal potential of the area, and also evidence for unconventional diamond potential by identifying numerous new lamprophere and diatreme occurrences. A second example of a greenfield project undertaken by Tanya Martens on the bedrock and Tyler Hodder on the sedimentary or quaternary side of things. The team of them has continued work in the southern Indian Lake area. Again, this area has a potential to contain a wide variety of mineral deposits. Most recently, we've identified good evidence for diamond potential in the area, so it's been only appropriate to add more information to the drift exploration knowledge we can provide to your toolboxes in this drift-covered area. Tanya has found a number of new occurrences of zinc, copper, and gold at southern Indian Lake, and Tyler has contributed to the understanding of ice flow directions and has collected a number of kimberlite indicator mineral samples in this area. Frontier project, Mark Rinney, one of our newer Precambrian geologists, has worked at Big Stone Lake. This is west of Island Lake, in an area that has not been mapped or studied for many, many decades. The area has a known potential for a wide variety of mineral deposits, and the bedrock mapping that Mark undertook has identified large alteration zones with high potential for VMS-type zinc and copper, and he's also mapped ultramafic rocks with potential to host nickel and copper. A different type of frontier project, it's part of a program led by Michelle Nicholas. This is on the Hudson-Angava project under the GEM2 federal program in collaboration with the Geological Survey of Canada, the Ontario Geological Survey, and universities partners, including Laurentian University. This is in a large area, focusing in Manitoba on the Hudson Bay lowland. And I think the results, the findings up there, they not only provide they provide new information to inform the land use decisions that are being made in this region, which is very important. They also promote investment in hydrocarbon exploration, which is rather new. And Michelle and her team have demonstrated that the Hudson Bay Basin has several horizons that have produced oil, and that these horizons have excellent reservoir capability. Also in the Hudson Bay lowland, in the Cascatama Highland area, Tyler Hodder, in collaboration with postdoc Sam Kelly of the University of Waterloo, have undertaken quaternary or superficial geology work. This is in northeast of the community of Shemadawa. This region has not been really studied for its quaternary geology. It's characterized by a very thick drift cover, so it only makes sense to provide improved understanding of the quaternary stratigraphy of this region. And the two of them have collected kimberlite indicator mineral samples that are also good for other indicator minerals, and have worked on a number of stratigraphic sections and taken samples as well. And this is also in preparation for a magnetotelluric survey in this region that's planned to be undertaken next summer together with the federal survey. Those were just some examples of the projects. I just kind of highlight a brush stroke, a few others. Talk to Kyle Reed, our latest geologist that we added to our team. He's been working on subphanerozoic Flin Flon belt south of Wecasco Lake. We've continued collaboration with the University of Calgary, tectonometamorphic study in the Flin Flon area. Chris Collin advanced his greenfield type project work in the shadow of the brownfield Thompson nickel belt in the Piquitone domain. Eric Yang also worked on petrogenesis and metallogeny of granitoid rocks along a transect. On the sedimentary side, Catherine Lepensky worked on high purity silica sands of the Winnipeg River Formation. Michelle Nicholas collaborated on the Cretaceous shallow or shale unconventional gas project, the Devonian Dupro Formation in collaboration with University of Manitoba. Our quaternary geologists worked in the Gillam area in support of aggregate resources for the region, as well as in the south, a project of quaternary mapping in the Pilot Mound Morden area. Jim Bambarak has undertaken bentonite dating in southwest Manitoba. This is for stratigraphic correlation purposes, and together with Mark Pacey in the GIS section, they've created now over 30 videos that are accessible on YouTube on the roadside geology. So you can take virtual road trips to these geologically very interesting and intriguing localities. You find much more detail on all of these projects and more in our annual report of activities. This year we added a plain language report summaries for all of these projects. Some of them you will hear about in talks. We have technical posters next door. Tomorrow between 5 and 6 p.m. all the poster authors will be at their posters, and there will be mini presentations in front of their posters for those of you who are interested. We've created new for this year community outreach posters. They're outside. They're more kind of plain language type of products. If you guys are interested in any of these posters, talk to us. We have extra copies, or we will certainly provide you after the convention with those materials. There's new web pages that we put up all the time. Yesterday, we made live a new rare metals web page, and you can track the activities on all these projects on our Geological Survey activity tracker. One area in the Geological Survey I haven't commented on is mineral education outreach. That's under Susan Michaels. There's a whole wealth of activities all year round. I'd just like to point out 3 new ones. Manitoba is pioneering a Girl Guide badge program. That's a geoscience challenge. We're ramping this in 2017. The Digit mineral cards are going online with a lots new addition. And we have a neat Make It Map project. As I mentioned, Kyle Reed has joined our team as a Precambrian geologist. He's a Manitoba guy. He's worked with industry in the Flin Flon belt, and he brings also uranium exploration experience to the team. And Thomas Booth joined us as our new librarian, and he's been instrumental in getting our library back up and running, and it's back open to the public. 2 of our long-term staff have retired in 2016. Donna Dalt, who's worked in marketing and business development. Jerry Banger, who's worked for 34 years in our lab and rock storage facilities, most recently out of Midland. And it goes without saying that it takes all Manitoba Geological Survey staff to contribute to the success of our programs. It takes the students, all our collaborators and clients. And in that sense, I'd like to thank you for your continued interest and support of our program. I encourage you to work out and reach with all our geologists and staff to access the wealth of geoscience information we have available for you for this province. Thank you very much.